Hello listeners and viewers. Welcome to Kaduna State Ministry of Education Radio and TV e-learning program designed for our SS3 and other students staying at home due to the coronavirus pandemic. The present administration, under the able leadership of His Excellency, Malam Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai, is positioned as always to ensure that under his leadership, our students are not left behind in all areas of human endeavors, especially education. Kaduna State is the center of learning. Therefore, we want to ensure that our students excel in their forthcoming examinations and beyond. Students and other learners at home are given this opportunity in order to continue learning, as education is a continuous process. Different subjects will be taught in this program to assist students to perform excellently in the forthcoming Senior School Certificate examination being conducted by NECO and WAEC as soon as schools reopen. Teachers making presentations will always provide their names and phone numbers during each presentation, and they can be contacted for questions, further explanations, and/or clarifications. The following numbers and contacts can also be reached for expression of any concern or observation: 090-865-00545 or 080-383-62072. Our website is www.education.kdsg.gov.ng. Our email education@kdsg.gov.ng or education.kdsg@gmail.com. Our YouTube channel, Ministry of Education, Kaduna State. Our Twitter handle @Kaduna_MOE. Or our Facebook page, Ministry of Education, Kaduna State. Stay safe, stay at home, and learn well. Thank you, happy listening, and happy viewing.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. All praise and thanks are for Allah, the Exalted, the Lord of the universe. Peace and blessings of Allah be upon Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his family, his companions, and those that follow his footprint till the last day. My students, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. You are welcome to Ministry of Education, Kaduna State Television and Radio e-learning Islamic Studies class. And today, inshallah, we shall be discussing on Suratul Asr, interpreted as the time. Under this topic, we shall look at the following: definitions of terms, Arabic text of the surah, translation, commentary, and summary of the surah. Now, definition of terms. In our discussion, we are going to come across the following terms. Surah simply means chapter. Ayah simply means verse. Makan Surah is referring to the chapter or verse revealed before Hijrah. Then Iman simply means faith. The surah takes its name from the word Al-Asr, occurring in the first verse of the surah. It is an early Meccan surah with 3 verses. It is chapter 103 in the arrangement of surahs in the Quran. And it was revealed when the message of Islam was presented in brief but highly impressive sentences so that the listeners will not forget. The surah explains the basic concept of Iman in its reality. It also explains that man, individual, community, or nation is or are in a loss, and that only those who are exempted from the laws have the following qualities. 1, faith, that is Iman. B, or 2, righteous deeds. C, advising one another to the truth, and advising one another to patience. Then at this point, student, We are going to look at the Arabic text of Suratul Asr. So we are going to read the Arabic text. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. I'll repeat the Arabic text again. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. Now the translation of the three ayahs from Suratul Asr. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Ayah number 1, which says Wal Asr. It means by the time. The second ayah, Innal insana lafi khusr, meaning surely man is in a state of loss. Then the third ayah, which says Illa allazina amanu wa amilu salihati wa tawasaw bil haqqi wa tawasaw bis sabr, means except for those who have faith and do righteous deeds and advise one another to follow the truth and advise one another to be patient. This is the translation. I will repeat the translation again. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. The first ayah, by the time, that is the meaning. The second ayah, surely man is in a state of loss. Ayah number 3, except for those who have faith and do righteous deeds and advise one another to follow the truth and advise one another to be patient. This is Quran 103 verse 1 to 3. Now commentary of the surah. The first ayah, the translation of the first ayah is by the time. And this time, as it is an oath taken at the beginning of the surah by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There are so many places in the Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala begin the surahs or start the surah with an oath. For example, there are surahs like Suratul Fajr, Suratul Duha, Suratul Tin. So the first ayahs of those surahs were oath taken. So the same thing with this surah. So the first ayah is an oath, and this oath signifies that time is a witness to the truth. And I said our activities of the day are passing by. We are passing through time. So it is real that there is time, and we all go by that time. Then the word time is used for the past. The past is a time that has already passed. Whatever you have done, it has gone, it has passed. Then the present, and every moment of the future. The present time, that is the time that we are in. So whatever we are expected to do, we are expected to utilize this present time, use it properly, and also use it to prepare for success of your future. Then every moment of the future is also part of it. It is also considered as a time. And whatever will happen in the future, it is you do not have any control over it. It is the present time that you have control over it. So the future belongs to Allah. You do not know whether you will reach or you will not reach. You are not even sure of the next minute of your life, whether you will reach that time or you will not. Then man is the second verse of the surah. Man is in a state of loss. That man is in sheer loss except for those people who possess the following qualities. What are those qualities? That faith, that is iman, righteous deeds, calling to the truth, and calling to patience. These are some of the ways that you are expected to utilize your time so that it will not be a sheer loss. That whatever act, good or bad, we perform, and whatever occupation we pursue takes place in the limited time we have been given by Almighty Allah for work in this life. So we are still discussing on the commentary of the surah, that whatever act, good or bad, we perform, and whatever occupation we pursue takes place in the limited time which have been given by Almighty Allah to us to work in this world. So for that reason, we are supposed to utilize to spend our time and drive the maximum benefit of that time. That the age limit that man has been given is passing quickly like melting away of ice. If it is wasted or used in wrong way, it will be sheer loss to man. The time which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to us, it is limited. There is an age limit. So we are expected to utilize that time on the important things that will bring a kind of a reward to us, so that it will not be like we are losing, or otherwise we are losing every minute of our life if it is not properly utilized. And we will not say, okay, we will bring back what has been passed back to reverse. We cannot do that. So when the time passed, it has passed and it has gone forever. It is said that lost wealth may be replaced by hard work, lost knowledge by study, but lost health can also be replaced by therapy or medication. But lost time is lost forever. You cannot reverse it back to correct what you have done. It has passed and it has gone forever. Then the third ayah of the surah, which says, إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. Particularly the first two statements, إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ, faith and righteous deeds. Faith and righteous deeds. In Islam, faith is regarded as the foundation of all goodness in life. It is the foundation of all goodness. And when we say faith, we are referring to Islamic monotheism. Islamic monotheism. And it includes also the other articles of faith. And let me just remind you of the articles of faith. The first is belief in Allah, belief in His angels, belief in His books, belief in His messengers, belief in the last day, and belief in the destiny. So all these are part of faith in Islam. So the faith is foundation of all goodness in life. Then this faith is supposed to be accompanied with what? Righteous deeds. It's supposed to be accompanied with righteous deeds. Because deeds done without faith, that is Iman in Allah, are completely disregarded by Allah. That after faith, the second quality required to save man from loss is what? To perform righteous deeds. That is why I made mention at the beginning that faith is not enough. It's supposed to be accompanied with righteous deeds. Then this righteous deed is referring to doing good to yourself, doing good to others, and the most important, following the obligations of Almighty Allah. All what Allah has commanded you to do, you are expected to follow it. At this point, there is a hadith where a companion of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam went to him, and he asked the Prophet that the Prophet should tell him something about Islam, that he shall not ask any other person beside him. That is Hadith 21 in Nawawi's collection. Then the Prophet answered him, and he said, Ul amantu billahi summa istaqim. Say, I believed in Allah and stay upright. This is to show us that Iman is expected to be accompanied with righteousness, that is good work. Mere faith without righteous deeds cannot save man from loss. So they are going hand in hand. They are supposed to be together. Faith and righteous deeds. Because faith, it is something that settles in the mind and it manifests in our actions. So it's supposed to be accompanied with righteousness. Mere faith is not enough, but it's supposed to be interpreted in our actions. Then according to the Quran, no act can be good unless it is based on faith and performed in obedience to the guidance given by Allah and His Messenger. Also, nowhere in the Quran has a deed without faith been called a good deed. No any reward promised for a deed performed without faith. You are on your own. So what you are expected to abide by is the command of Allah, to follow the command of Allah. Because there is nothing left in Islam untouched. Faith without righteous deeds will be false claim refuted by man himself, when in spite of this claim, he follows away of us to the way taught by Allah and His Messenger. The relationship between faith and righteous deeds is of the seed and the tree. Unless the seed is sown in the soil, no tree can grow out of it. But if the seed is in the soil and no tree is growing out of it, it would mean that the seed is lost in the soil. This is a saying. Then advising one another to the truth. All part of ayah number 3. Advising one another to the truth. The message here is that you should also tell the truth and also urge others, encourage others to tell the truth. It is part of those righteous deeds mentioned in the surah. Then faith encourages humanity towards doing what is good, pure and beneficial to mankind. Faith encourages humanity towards doing what is good, what is pure and beneficial to mankind. A believing and righteous people should not live as individuals, but should create a believing and righteous society by their combination. At this point, there are so many hadiths where this particular issue, we can say they are related. There is a hadith where a companion of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Sahih Bukhari made mention that if a person directed another person to do what is good, he will also be rewarded with same reward as the person that he directed to do the work. Then there is another place where it says Amr bil Ma'ruf wa Nahy anil Munkar Sadaqah, also all related to this issue of advising one another to the truth. That every individual of the society must feel his responsibility not to let the society become degenerate. So it is responsibility of each and every one of us, including you students, to be encouraging one another to the truth. That whenever and wherever falsehood appears, followers of the truth should rise up against it, and that to enjoy what is good and forbid what is evil has been enjoined on the Muslim community as a duty, and the community which perform this duty has been declared to be best community. Then the next aspect is advising one another to be patient advising one another to be patient. There is a hadith where one of the companions of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam went to him and asked the Prophet, or requested the Prophet to advise him. Then the Prophet said, do not get angry. Do not get angry. Awsini, that is the statement. And the Prophet mentioned, Qala la taghdab. He repeated that statement 3 times to show the importance of patience. Besides calling to the truth, the other thing which has been declared as necessary condition for keeping the believers and the society secure from loss is that members should enjoy patience upon one another. Each of them should encourage the other to bear the difficulties, hardships, trials, losses and denials which befall one another who adheres to truth and support it. So we are expected to encourage one another to bear difficulties, to persevere, and also to accommodate whatever condition or situation they find themselves in. That patience in times of calamity or misfortune is the most difficult thing to do, but it's necessary. It becomes necessary. Why? In order to have a complete faith in Allah. Because if you are not careful, you are not patient, it can lead you to get out of Islam. So from the commentary, we are moving down to the lessons derived from the surah. One of the lessons, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses an oath in the opening of this surah to show the importance of the statement that follows. To show the importance of the statement that follows the oath. Then the surah teaches the importance of time, and mankind should not lose or waste it. The surah also teaches the importance of analyzing one's activities of the day. You look at your activities of the day, which ones are the most important, which ones are not important, which ones are not urgent. For example, tasks that are important and urgent, seeking for knowledge, 5 daily prayers, Ramadan fast, and so on. They are all urgent and important. Once it is Ramadan month, it is urgent and important. Once it is time for fasting, for salat, it is urgent and important. So then tasks that are urgent or important but not bought. For example, visiting the sick. It is time for 5 days, Zuhur prayer, and you still have somebody in the hospital that you want to go and visit. So you delay going to visit because it is important, but prayer comes before visit. So the same thing with taking bath, sleeping, eating food, etc. Tasks that are neither important nor urgent, e.g. watching unnecessary films. They are not important and not urgent. Then listening to music, playing football, chatting. Some can spend 3 hours, 4 hours. Some children even spend the whole night chatting over an unnecessary matter or issue. When it is time for them to wake up and perform the Subhi prayer, they are not there because the time has been exhausted on unnecessary actions. The surah also teaches mankind to avoid any condition that inhibits appropriate and efficient use of time. And in court, they are called time wasters. E.g., attending useless gatherings or visitors. There are some visitors that will come to you for just gisting and unnecessary things that will not benefit you. Then unnecessary telephone calls also, gossip, among other things. The surah teaches belief in Allah and other articles of faith. Then the doing of good works requires the performance of obligation towards Allah, fellow human beings, and oneself. That we should be truthful and tell others to tell the truth. that we should always be patient and advise others to do the same. We should not lose our faith because of one problem or the other. Finally, the surah teaches that having faith in Allah, doing good work, and advising others to be truthful and patient will increase the feeling of brotherhood among the community, and by extension, eliminate or reduce problems in the world. There is a hadith which says, لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يحب لأخيه ما يحب لنفسه. So it is also related to this particular point. Then finally, I have an assignment for you. Question number 1A. What is the thing by which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala swears in the first verse of the surah? Number 1B. What is its importance to mankind? Importance of that particular thing which Allah swears in the first ayah of the surah. Then question 2. What guidance does Allah give in the surah Al-Asr with regards to the concept of Iman? Then number 3. Discuss the main lessons of Suratul Asr. I will repeat the questions again. Question 1A. What is the thing by which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala swears in the first verse of the surah? 1B, what is its importance to mankind? Importance of that particular thing by which Allah swears is in the first ayah of the surah. Then 2, what guidance does Allah give in the surah Al-Asr with regards to the concept of Iman or faith? Discuss the main lessons of Suratul Asr. That is question number 3. Before I go, I will read my contact number for your assignment or for any explanation. You can send a text message or you WhatsApp me through the number 070-3481-9895. I will repeat the number 070-3481-9895. I remain Salamat Ibrahim Sambo. Stay home, stay safe, keep learning. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.